By the way, I got a late start here, so we're playing live.
Oh, cool.
We're already live. Let's see. Greetings, Alexander Soda. Oh yeah, how's my hair? Looks about right. Very much pandemic hair. Do. Okay, let me get a few things adjusted here. That goes to there. That goes to there. Ha! Minute to spare. Just, we didn't get a fishy warm-up. And let's see, get your volume up. You want to give me a test?
Test, 1, 2, 3, test. Testing,
Perfect.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect. And testing for me, that I look good. Look fabulous. Okay, there we go. That's good. Do. Yeah, one of these days, Devil Cult needs to get on the stream, right, Devil Cult? Thinking that's
That would definitely be cool. I know he's a pretty popular guy now with all the UI stuff, and people were excited about what they saw in QA just recently.
Oh, just wait. That reminds me, I need to go check one thing here and make sure progress. Oh, it's perfect. Hold on, let me do one thing, and then we can do our introductions. So why don't you do the introductions while I do the thing?
Oh, sure. Hey, guys. We're here to stream a little bit about Shroud of the Avatar, some questions and answer session. And so I'm Rick Elgarion Hart, Community Manager. Good to see you. And my partner in crime there is the owner of the company of Catnip Games, and also, executive producer. Is that right?
I don't know.
Technical director, something fancy. And
then
Valued
I think team member.
Travis wants to join in too, but I think he needs you to call him. He's not sure how to join.
Oh, well, let me see if I can add him in. Let's see if that works. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Like that Sesame Street guy.
Wow, brings back memories. Travis, unavailable.
What?
I know, super lame.
I'll let him know on Skype.
Okay, hopefully it's not going to mess anything up, but I am uploading the build. The QA build now that has some more stuff in it. I haven't even looked at anything. I took a stab at some numbers for the new night vision, but haven't had a chance to look at it. All right, we're getting some people in there. Let's see, is questions working? Looks like questions is not working. Why is my questions not working? It's on.
What?
Fail. Looks like I'm going to have to re-auth. Anytime I start late or close to late, this is what happens. Without fail. Let's see. Hold on. Open recent. You're supposed to be buying me time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Talking said
so
dead
anyway,
air.
guys, lots of great changes coming to R89 just around the corner. I think, Chris, you said you're going to have like the Rise, the expansion to the Rise possibly ready, right?
I'll have something in there. It's going to have little testing except for me, but I've been doing quite a bit of testing. I think I'm just going to enable the first part, and then I'll turn the other parts on as they happen. I had tons of grand plans, and I changed my plans about 10 times. But really just more lost time to emergent stuff like this networking issue and some other things. But it'll be there. Something will be there.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. Go ahead.
And then we got some UI updates coming from difficult to include a search field on the quest log as well as or the journal rather, and the recipe book. So you're able to search for recipes and search for quests with keywords. That's going to be a really nice change. I mean, he's really diving into that UI stuff, and I know you guys have been wanting that for a long, long time. This is exciting for me too.
Oh, and Betsy has a new thing that he just showed me today that's he's experimenting with, but a fallback, hold on, I gotta get my code, but a fallback, a mini map that just renders from the actual scene.
Oh, right, yeah, you kind of mentioned that in chat. That's cool. Oh, and then there was another one too, Town Crier, in an upcoming patch, probably R89 I would guess, is going to be the lot window is going to be unhooked from Town Crier, or still probably be there, but you can pull it up at any time when you're in a town to see, if you're looking for a particular lot. And then Difficult also added a new column of information in there to include your the name you've given your house that's currently on the lot. So that way, if it's like Elgarion's tailor shop, it'll show right next to it. And of course, sort and all that kind of stuff. And that'll really help people kind of scan through towns and look for certain things, because you can customize that little name of the property to help people realize what the purpose of your property is there in the area. And I think that's going to be a really nice quality of life improvement. Really excited to see him knock that out. I don't know if that's ready for R89 though, but he showed me. He said he was having some. Oh yeah, he posted some screenshots, and it looked like it was already working though. Oh, he's looking at it. Okay.
All right, lots of good stuff going in there. Let me get. I'm just about ready now.
And then, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm ready now.
Okay.
Okay. Question bot's hooked up. Let me get my list of stuff I want to make sure and start off with here. Live streams. All right, now I'm ready. We already did the intros, but greetings, Avatar. I am Chris Atos Spears. When we are part of the team to make Shroud of the Avatar, I'm trying to get another team member in here. Sorry for the late start, and sorry, I'm still trying to get Travis on the call. Join us, Travis. But anyways, we're just here today to talk. We got lots of stuff. I think Elgarion could fill the stream with stuff he's been working on alone, but as you heard, there's a lot of good stuff going in from Difficult as he's finally getting used to things and spending more time actually producing stuff instead of trying to figure out the code base and all the weird ways we have to do things just due to it being a large team, and figuring out our revision control software and everything else. But he's been doing some great stuff there, and he is in chat. But I would be saying good stuff about him whether he were in chat or not. But yeah, we've got an exciting release coming up next Thursday, 6 days from now. We should have a couple new maps going live. We should have a ton of improvements, a ton of quality of life things. We should have. Do we know for sure what's going to be happening with your crafting changes? I know we have most of it done. I know the stuff we just talked about today isn't going to go in for this.
Yeah. So mundane salvage is safe to go in. Mm-hmm. But there'll be a limitation if we don't get the tech work done to help with stacked mundane items. So like if you have a stack of 5 mm-hmm. beakers, it's not going to salvage them. You'll have to peel them off one at a time. But if you've got a loot of 20 items, it's one of each. You can drag them in and salvage them just fine. So it'll just be a temporary inconvenience until that second piece of tech gets in. The exceptional work can go in as long as these changes are functional with the changing what applies for the exceptional. And somebody just said on QA the other day, I think on Discord, that they were still getting the plus 50 durability. So that'll be important, because if not, that entire 4,700 file package or whatever it was, they'll have to they'll have to hold off for a little bit until that's ready. Because in other words, they'd be adding yet another 50 durability on top of things that I baked 50 extra durability in. So maybe that if that's done, yeah. So that'll be safe to go in if that tech's there. And then I submitted the last part of our discussion. Remember, was like the base weapon stats, just to kind of clean that up, like the crafted weapon stats. And I already submitted that, and I think that's safe to go in as is. And it's mostly tweaks up to help with crafted weapons to be a little more competitive and to kind of make them a little more uniform into, what their base stats are. But when it comes to the artifact nerfs and adjustments, let's just say adjustments, because there's a lot of them that might get a little bit tweak up. There's a good portion of them that you'll notice temporarily that, I don't know if, see that picture I posted in chat there, Chris? I don't know if you can show them that to give them a visual.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, and another thing, for a two-handed sword, for whatever reason, it didn't have anywhere close to the critical ability of a one-handed sword, so I adjusted that to be on par, which is more than doubles that base value of however it affects the multipliers and stuff. So you should notice crit hit chances to be very similar to a one-handed sword as well.
All right, here's that image.
Cool. So basically, I went through all the durabilities of all crafted items and all artifacts, considered aberrations in the artifacts that had unusual durabilities, and there wasn't really too many aberrations in the base armor sets of the crafted gear, but not necessarily the special items like wizard hat and stuff like that. They had a lot of deviations too. But ultimately, all crafted items will have a 10% bonus to durability, roughly, rounded around to the nearest 5, to make it look a little cleaner. And as you can see, it's a pretty sizable amount of extra durability. And this is just one very small aspect trying to give crafted gear a little more love. Just one aspect, there's going to be more to come. And then you'll see that the artifacts have very standardized durabilities as well. And we're going to try to not make durability one of the factors for giving a particular piece of gear extra benefits. We're going to say, well, no, durability will be something that's just solid and uniform, and that way it's one variable we don't have to consider when trying to balance things. So that way everything has uniform number of masterworks and enchants, with crafted just a little bit more love in that regard. So you'll notice that rings, for instance, there's quite a few rings that only had 50 durability, and you see they went up to 130 and 145, and that was basically because of some aberrations within a handful of rings that, so I decided just to give those extra love. So basically, and then of course the two-handed melee, you'll see that there's an extra 20 durability for two-handed melee that's been added in, and then of course the crafted version would have even that extra 10%. But ultimately the goal is to make these things very uniform, so you can affect masterworks and chants to be pretty much uniform across the board in terms of power levels, what you can apply, except for just a little bit extra love on crafted gear, because you have better base stats on a lot of artifact gear. One thing that is coming, you might see a temporary spike of interest in some of these artifacts because they may have had like a little bit lower durability than their crafted counterpart, and now they're being put more on par to give them even more of a boost. So if the artifact balancing doesn't make it in immediately with these changes, there may be some temporary, I can, give this a lot of masterworks and a chance, which you will be able to regardless, but you may notice your base stats going down, so the excitement might, draw off a little bit, but ultimately, it's just one more step in trying to balance out like subsystems, right now we're on gear, so that way the true balance work with all the skill trees and stuff like that can really be working from subsystems that are balanced within themselves, so then they can really just focus on comparing skills to skills and not have to worry too much about aberrant artifacts or aberrant foods or stuff like that that can really dork up that attempt or that work. So this is probably going to be the biggest band-aid you guys have, the artifact balancing that's coming up, but it won't be for R89, but maybe it'll patch in. I don't know, Chris. I'll have it ready for QA this weekend. But that'll be the biggest band-aid, I think, of ripping off a lot of broad stroke changes, but ultimately going forward, everything should be more fine-tuned changes and not be so punishing and that kind of stuff. And hopefully you guys are just a little patient in this regard and realize that we're going for big picture stuff here to the overall user experience and trying to make improvements.
Yeah, and again, I think the thing that's important to focus on is if you just look purely at the base stats for things, for artifacts, then some of them do look like they were cut down pretty heavily, but they're helped in other ways. They're helped with the more durability and ability to take different stuff. So, but anyways, I'm excited about it. It is going to be, I think there's a few things that probably get hit a little bit, and that's part of why I wanted to make sure, even if we get it done in time for the release, that we leave it on QA for at least a little while. So that's my hope, is we get it on QA. Usually the Monday after release is when we lift lockdown, and at that point we only integrate stuff that is approved. So I was thinking after we lift lockdown, maybe we can put it on QA. Then people can try it out. Because it's a big enough change. I think we need to get some feedback, even though I think we kind of know what the feedback is going to be. Yeah. I think it's important just because players have been really good about finding issues that I hadn't thought of, just from a player's point of view. I know you get a lot more of that than probably other people on the team, but anyways.
And then I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's important that we at least let them see things, see if they have any observations.
And then other future work that'll, in regards to making artifacts have a place. Well, keep in mind ancient essences, of course, will be added to more and more recipes as time goes on. Upgrade recipes will be requiring ancient essences soon. I hope to get that in before R89. The more you're going up a tier, the more ancient essences it'll require. Nothing too crazy, but it'll have a good handful. And then, of course, salvaging artifacts into components. And so basically, let's visualize this. Every artifact in the world let's just pretend it has what's called an imbued gem already on it. And that's what gives its artifact power. And when you salvage this artifact, you're going to extract an imbued gem with some of the stats that are unique to that artifact to apply to crafted gear only. It won't be able to be circled back into an artifact, because those aren't crafted, you just upgrade them. But socketed. So you can socket artifacts, but you're not going to be able to socket that imbued gem back into an artifact. It's only going to be accepted on crafted gear, because technically artifacts already have an imbued gem on it, and they're technically already socketed with that imbued power. If you visualize it that way, it might make a little more sense. I hope it does. So basically, these imbued gems will be added to its own little table that can, be socketed in. There'll be some standardized imbued gems that you can just craft straight out. That basically allows you to take your Gaiaism gems and stuff like that, and take a bunch of them and upgrade them into imbued versions to get more powerful, just the base attunements. But also, you can get those unique artifact ones if you want to use those instead. And I'm as we're looking to give you guys more power options in the future, occasionally adding socket slots, but only to crafted gear. So crafted helmets and belts are, I think, obvious because of a belt buckle, and then the helmet, maybe a little gem up here or something, kind of makes sense. But slowly adding more socket slots to help crafted gear balance out even more until we find the right mix that balances artifacts with crafted gear, as we go forward. So lots of options for us to adjust.
That sounds pretty cool.
Also, welcome Travis. It's been a while since you were on the stream. You normally troll us from chat, but...
I'd like to think of it as moderating chat.
Oh, yeah. Moderating. That's right, moderating.
Not trolling your chat.
We've got a bunch of questions here. Did you have any other intro stuff you want to talk about, Rick?
I mean, that was the general, info that I had. I didn't really have anything else to mention.
Okay. So we're making a lot of quality of life changes. I think people have been seeing some of those. Some of them are long overdue. But a lot of them are getting in, like a lot of things got in this release. There's some new key binding stuff. There's just a ton of changes to improve things. There's the stuff that Devil Cult's done. I'm trying to I've seen enough. This is one of those things that for a long time I've wanted to do. But I think I've just about had it going and watching streams and watching videos made by people that are otherwise great content, but they're always screwed up by the same thing and make the game look horrible when they're showing off, which is night vision. So another thing that I'm going to be doing is killing off the green screen effect of night vision. I'm going to be working on finding another balance for it, but I'm doing that this release. You guys shouldn't have to play the game in ugly mode at all times. Just because you want to have night vision on. So I'm going to work on some other things. But yeah, the visuals on night vision are, they're great, but they ruin, they make you play in ugly mode at all times. That's kind of, we try to have balances for things, and I don't think we should have a balance for something that is make you play in ugly mode at all times. And as I mentioned, it also makes our streams look ugly and videos look ugly because people are always in night vision mode, because why wouldn't they be? So anyway, so that's changing as well. And they're saying, can we please hear more from Elgarion? Please, his content is what is important. Well, all right then. Let me. I agree with that too. He's got a lot of good stuff going on right now. But let me mention a couple other things that were just. One was a question that reminded me of a story which I wanted to make sure and tell, which is someone was saying that when they go into ghost mode, something to fix for quality of life is when you're in ghost mode. You lose your strength buffs and you slow down a lot. Can we just not do the slowdown based on weight carried? Which reminded me I had to sit back and think how we got there, as usual the case in these things, is trying to remember why we made such a decision. That one is to why we let you slow down, why you're slowed down in this ghost mode, even if you're carrying a ton. Actually goes back to a issue we called Ghost Truckers, which is... I know it sounds silly, but that's pretty much what it is. Players would, and this is not something that is really, it's not even like an exploit or something like that. I mean, it's kind of on the line, but you have your one character go into the mines, he mines and harvests, thousands and thousands of ores until he's crawling around. Then you have your other character that goes to him as your mule, and your mule, basically, you can give him 10,000 weight or whatever, and of course he won't be able to move at that point. But all he has to do is kill himself, and then he can be a ghost trucker. That's what happens if we don't apply movement penalties to players as ghost. So that is kind of the thing, is people use it too much as an exploit if we don't give you weight penalties as ghost. So I am going to be making a few changes to it. I will be making it so it's less. You'll be able to carry a little bit more as a ghost. We just can't let you carry infinite as a ghost, because as soon as we do that, we've already seen what happens. Is players use that as, I've got my mule, and my mule is always a ghost truck. So that won't be happening. But I know that was one that I saw a few people talking about on Twitter and in threads, and thought was worth explaining. It was not one that had a simple, we can't do that because X. It's a longer explanation. But anyways, that's why we can't do it. The other thing I'm working on, and I know most of you are saying, I don't know what you're talking about, but there's a lot of people who've been having connection problems. This is one that is still a little elusive. I can't reproduce it. Before any tech guys out there ask, we do have ways internally of adding lag to our testing and adding lost packets, and I still can't reproduce what others are seeing. But what they're seeing is they're on zoning, they're getting to 94% and then getting kicked from the game. So we've tracked down a few of these things. It seems there's some common elements to the people who have it. And again, there's still a couple of theories on it, but I'm working on some solutions. There's actually several code changes to our networking code going on QA right now. It's uploading as we talk. But Still working on the network solution. I also, because we were seeing a lot of lost packets inside of one hop out from our ISP, from our internet backbone. They don't really call them ISPs. It's like a backbone provider, Cogent. But they were seeing some people were seeing packet loss one step outside of that others were not seeing, but it was pretty consistent in who was seeing it. A lot of that comes, in case you don't know, like the internet is just it's a web, and depending on where you're starting from determines the path that it's going to take to get to places, and it bounces all around. So if you're coming from someplace, in Canada, that may take a different path to get here, and that may lead you through a bad switch that has some packet loss problems. And that is kind of what we were seeing. And the other thing that is crazy about that is I could live next door to a guy, but be on a totally different backbone because I'm on like cable and he's on Google Fiber or whatever. So there's some common elements to it, and that's we've seen there's some people I actually have 2 people in Canada who are on the same cable, same provider, and they're having problems. But they've done quite a bit of testing, and they're seeing some other problems in areas. But again, still digging into it. Don't know exactly for sure. I've uncovered some problems that I've got a patch out for uploading right now. Got Cogent looking at it, but I am taking it seriously. I am trying to identify it. And I know for the most part, I hadn't been looking at it super hard because I keep graphs of all the disconnects and that type stuff, and the disconnects overall have not changed significantly. But with some people, the game has gone from being totally fine, rock solid, to nearly unplayable. They're getting booted half the time when they zone. So anyways, taking that very seriously. And I do have some changes going into the current QA client that hopefully I can get some of those guys to try out and see if it does any better. Another thing that I did uncover is when we did change server, we did start seeing a few performance issues, but they aren't things that kick people. But that's enough of a reason for me that I'm going to go and upgrade, put our fast server. We've got a replacement server that we just never mounted because there wasn't really a reason to, because the other ones seem to be fine. It's doing fine, but there's times when there's some agriculture is always a problem, but there's some times when some of those things are piling up and you get too many people doing agriculture at the same time in the same scene as well, and we can see some performance spikes that are causing some server delays. But anyways, we will be getting a new server, which is awesome, except it's going to mean a lot of work for me, not awesome. And it'll probably also mean 4 hours of downtime when we actually get the server in there and have to swap it over, which is, again, double not awesome. But it will get us back to where we were before. Again, I don't think players are seeing any side effects from it. I can just tell the server response on some aspects of the game has gotten slower. So again, really the big thing is agriculture is the one that had the graph that made it clear that the new server is not as fast as the old server. So, but that may be all my emergency stuff. Well, I guess I can go now, right? Is it time for Elgarion to take over?
I've got one thing I actually did forget to mention. Salvage. To make the new exceptional stuff work properly, because we couldn't just go into the master records for each of the existing assets and add 50 durability to them, or however much durability for the new work. Because essentially, if that item had already received an exceptional, they would have gotten the 50 plus the 50, and then you'd have like a Uber item. And then, of course, no way to get that again with the new items, because exceptionals would no longer provide an additional 50. So there'd be a lot of really powerful legacy items. And so essentially every single piece of gear had to be duplicated. Every single artifact of every tier had to be duplicated. And then everywhere they appeared in recipes and in loot tables, the new versions had to be slid in. And then, of course, the adjustments had to be made to the new records for what the new durability was and stuff. And then, of course, all the upcoming artifact balance, that all had to be adjusted too. But so that left us with, in terms of artifacts, an issue where if you had some of the old artifacts and you're trying to combine them with a mix of old and new artifacts, let's say you had 2 old commons and 2 new common Belt of the Ox, and you were trying to combine it in to make it a uncommon Belt of the Ox. Well, it wouldn't work. So those old legacy artifacts, you can salvage them to receive a low durability version of the new artifact, just for the purposes of putting into an upgrade recipe. And then if you salvage it again, it'll just be like salvaging the new version where you get your essences and stuff. And you may want to consider holding off salvaging these as much as possible. If you need the essences, go for it. But, of course, we have the upcoming components coming. So, I would say salvage sparingly, so that way you can take advantage of the upcoming components when they arrive as well.
I was just reminded of another thing I should mention is, I think last Friday maybe is when I started seriously, maybe it was Saturday, but anyways, I started investigating and botting much more seriously, and I'm trying to stay on that every day. And today was another day where I got up and looked for bot stuff, and honestly, activity from those type of players and some of their signatures is way down. I think I posted earlier this week that I banned 12 people for botting. So I just wanted to let people know that that is something that is still going on, and it's actually changed a number of things. The economy has actually shifted a little bit. I mean, we're not talking much. We're talking like removing... I'm trying to remember how many it was, but it's about 30 botters from the game over the last 2 weeks has reduced the economy, the gold coming into the economy by about 10%. So again, helping with inflation a little bit. But just want to let people know that is still ongoing. And again, I've been making more and more charts trying to catch these things, instrumenting the server as well as instrumenting the client. And I think it's going pretty well. But I don't see any comments on people from that stuff. Last week I looked up a bunch of stats. I had one that I had someone really wanted to know, and I'm not sure if I should share this one or not, but I had a stat, which was the most number of deaths by a player. I thought I'd share this one because I know a couple of the people are here on the stream, and I thought it'd be fun to throw it out there. I think they'll wear these. This is a badge of honor. Not take it as an embarrassment. But, drum roll please, the most killed person on the server, I only did the last 90 days. Let's see if anybody... Coswald, you are up there, kind sir, but you are not number one. Number one, again, this is pulled from the last 90 days. You ready? I'm not sure I've seen him talk out there. I know I normally see him on here. But number one is Gleppo1. Congratulations.
He's a major grinder.
He is. That is a lot of deaths. 667 deaths he's had.
That XP's well earned then.
Yeah. Congrats, Gleppo. There should be some trophy or prize for that. Can we get him something? Is there anything we can do there?
I don't know.
I'm only going to name off people that I recognize. And Coswald, you were saying... yeah, that's nearly 10 deaths a day for average over the last 3 months. But Coswald, you were in 4th place with 307 deaths. Still pretty good. That's you're looking at more like 2 to 3 deaths a day, or 3 to 4 deaths a day. But congratulations, Gleppo. Let's see if I recognize any of these other names on here. A lot of them are names I recognize, but they're not people on the stream. Chiasma's right up there. They're in the top 25. Fetid Sir Diddy is another. Let's see. I think that's most of the ones that are on the stream. The rest of them are people I recognize, but yeah, there should be a title for that. Gleppo should get a title for most killed player. It's one of those things, if we start actually giving a real reward for it, then you guys are going to be out trying to die. You'll be running around naked, fighting everything you can, and trying to get slaughtered, so. Gwendolyn, I didn't see you on here, Gwendolyn. You weren't in the top 25, believe it or not. 3 per day is not enough to get you into the top 25. No, you got to be a little bit worse. All right. We've got a lot of questions we can answer. Did you have any other stuff? They really like your content, Elgarion. Did you have any other stuff?
Oh, thanks. I guess maybe a question will make me think of how to dive into it more deeply.
Okay.
Short of showing them spreadsheets.
Did you need something, little girl?
I accidentally knocked the power out again.
Hey, Maxine.
Okay, you can turn it on.
I already did, but won't turn on.
Okay, I'll take care of it in a little bit.
From Spinock the Great has a question. Since you upgrade the artifact system, maybe add 5 to 10 new arties this release. Well, and it's been a long time since we introduced new arties, is what he's saying. Well, we did add 3 new artifacts with the shrines, and then of course the shrines themselves that you craft, which are kind of a unique new item. So we added Vexen's Spark and Nappa's Favor and Sutok's Bluster. Kind of around our own Aldur went live. And I guarantee we'll probably have at least a couple for the new scene coming for R91. I don't know if the name's been revealed yet, and I know we haven't revealed the new model and of the creature. But I know Keith wants me to make some loot items for that and the Panopticon. But what really is important right now is, since we're trying to balance artifacts, trying to introduce some midstream, and we still have a handful of artifacts that aren't even scaled yet, are not tiered. And I wasn't able to get to the tier work for any of those untiered ones this month. So hopefully next month I will. But yeah, we'll start introducing them, but hoping to go in with after the dust settles a little bit and we get all this balance worked out to make sure we're now introduce new artifacts that cause more balance issues with crafted gear. And also we have one more step to keep in mind every time we add an artifact now, because it's already a pretty time consuming process, because each time a new tier was created, now it's a ×5 endeavor. Got to do the upgrade recipes as well. And now we're going to have a component, at least one component for each artifact that will occur from salvaging. So it's one more factor to them to create every time we create an artifact. So something to consider.
All right. Travis, are you looking at questions, or did you have anything you wanted to talk about? We don't get you on the stream much. You guys should be asking questions of Travis.
I'm working on. I made it, and it's half the size I started it as, but it's easily the biggest map we've made so far. Just because we got horses, and that's something we don't have a lot of. We have a lot of small, cool, intricate, woven story maps, but like a big, expansive explorer map, we didn't. We could use more of it. That Blood Bay was pretty big, but I've just been working on that. It's in episode 2. And there'll be a range of content. There'll be some stuff for super high-end players, and there'll be some stuff for lower-level players too, so they have a reason to go there too.
Cool. I have a question here from Buzz Key. Question, why do pets take half XP in Spindleskog? That may be... I don't think they do on live. Are you saying that they take it on live? I would not expect them to take any experience on live. My guess was that was a misunderstanding, that they were trying it on QA, and the experience rewards for very high-level creatures. Yes, on live it takes half. Oh, I have no explanation for that. That should not be happening.
Is it tied to the difficulty they're on, maybe? That's one of those that you can do different difficulties.
Yeah, in QA, the experience from Spindleskog and a few other places, very high-level places, has been reduced for the highest-level creatures. It has actually been increased a little bit for lower-level creatures, but for the highest ones, it's been reduced as we continue to try to... I've intentionally left the XP attunement at 12 million, so I can start seeing what places, people can achieve 12 million experience points an hour, and also how quickly they can do it. So I'm trying to make sure, and I'm leaving that on, because again, the goal is to completely turn that off at some point. But we can't do that if there's a scene where you can make 50 million experience points an hour, whereas most of them are 4 million an hour or 2 million an hour or something like that. Guess what? There's only one place players will play. So I'm trying to hammer that down.
The easy, hard, extra hard modes, though, right?
Yes, that's extreme mode in Spindleskog. There's some places where the content, the reward does not match the risk, basically. Now, people do die a lot in there. I'm not saying there's not a risk in there. It's just the net is still pretty crazy. They get a lot of one-shot kills on themselves, so there's a lot of deaths. But the rewards for it are, in some cases, just insane over the top. But anyways, if you were on QA, then yeah, the experience has been reduced there. If it's on live, I have no explanation on why you would be getting reduced experience. Gwendolyn says, haven't seen that, but can't do extreme. Yeah, I would think I'll have to go and check it out. I have not seen that myself. I have not heard that. Pets do not get factored into the party size. Party size is the only other thing that really makes a significant difference in the experience point calculations. Guys, go ahead.
Alexander Soda asks, will high-tier legendary epic artifacts inherit a bit of the new old artifacts too? So no, old artifacts, their durability is not changing, because if, like I said, if it got any additional durability was added to the base record for those artifacts, it would increase things that were already exceptionals. So if they're legendary, you may want to salvage them to become the new low durability version of the new artifact to use in upgrade recipes to make your epic. And as for your epic, you mentioned, they're going to receive, so if you look at a epic old version artifact that had an exceptional, it'll have the same durability as the epic new version, except for there'll be some deviations based on items that got a little extra durability. It's possible I could try to give old epics some love, because they would be the only ones that couldn't convert over. What I'm trying to avoid is being able to convert a depleted epic over, and then you end up with a fully max durability epic again. But maybe that isn't too big of an issue, I guess. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If not, ask follow-up questions, please.
I'm seeing Dow Nomad saying would love to see more work on the Obsidian Trials, taking one that was not asked with the proper method, but I wanted to answer. Yeah, I'd love to see more work on the Obsidian Trials. That's one of those things we've got the tech for. We want to do some more. They don't take that long to do, but right now until we get balance improved on things, honestly, in a lot of cases, PvP, especially like that type of, tournament type, limited time tournament, could be frustrating to some players. I think we're getting closer on the balance. We'll see where we're at this release in terms of balance, and maybe I'll take some people to Obsidian Trials and we can do a couple days testing on it. But the level cap has helped a lot in Obsidian Trials. Yeah, that's right now, in case you didn't know, Obsidian Trials has a 100 cap for level and skill in there. So that should level the playing field a bit for people. That was kind of, again, one of those experiments that was requested. I think Vesper might have requested it, so his opinion may be a little bit biased, but I was expecting that to help as well.
I like it.
And actually the Rise work I have been doing, one of the things that's in that is something I pitched for a Obsidian Trials map that's basically a room with towers and spires in it that there's lots of climbing and platforms you can jump off of, but with lava, basically the floor is lava that rises up. So rather than it being a poison field that pushes everybody to the middle, it's actually rising lava that's pushing everybody to the top. So stat caps would be cool, yes. Great gear mitigation. Well, the plan is, again, rather than great gear mitigation, the plan is to try and get gear in a more balanced state, which is what that guy right up there is working on. So hopefully we'll get gear in a more balanced state within the next few releases. And then we can talk. Then it's less of an issue. Let's see.
Question here from Hollyhock. What's the latest on turning scrap paper into wood pulp? So with the mundane salvage work that is going to go live with R89, I skipped recipes, books, patterns, and I hear people want their vendor receipts also as a possibility, which may end up being a different thing entirely. But so for like those three items, paper was a rare thing back in the medieval times, and I can make them all turn into wood pulp. Then we have a gajillion amount of wood pulp, but I need to think of more uses for wood pulp. But, I guess for crafting, blank paper would be great. You'd make it a little more easy to do that, and feasible. You can do it in bulk or something. But in any case, one of the things I want to do is have mysterious items show up in salvage loot tables. So this will be after I get all the balancing stuff done for artifacts and whatnot, and the dust settles there. So basically, let's say you salvaged a map, and then it's not a map, but a recipe. I'm sorry, that's what we're talking about. And you might get some wood pulp, but what if you get a mysterious scroll instead, where there's faint lettering here, and then you take that mysterious scroll to your table and you add lemon juice and stuff like that, and then it reveals some new scroll type that's only available through salvage, or so stuff like that. Before I do the recipes and things like that, I want to have that stuff ready, so that way it's just not wood pulp.
Let's see, I've got one here. This one looks like a question from a newer player. I love answering those, which is Effin Archer. I wonder what he plays. But when a skill is earning experience, how is the amount calculated? Does the skill's multiplier have any effect? Size of your pool? Is there a maximum bonus from potions food? Is there an absolute maximum? So, the way it works is depending on the skill, I think I've shared the formulas before, but I can share the math at some point. But it is... Your pool size does matter. Having more experience in your pool matters up to a certain level. The minimum number of uses to level to get a point in a skill it takes either the highest of a percentage of your total pool or the percentage that can be applied based on the skill level, based on there's a minimum number of skill uses. So if you have a really huge pool, you're still not going to get level everything in one hit or something like that. It's still going to take a certain 10, 20, 30 uses before it'll level up depending on its level. If you have a very small pool, then that will slow you down. But if you have a really large pool, if you've got several million experience points in your pool, then it will not get faster and faster and faster, so you can level things up in one hit. But as for the bonuses for how quickly things level up, I don't think there's a cap to those, but there's a limited number of things you can do for them. That's one of those things we've tried to be pretty free with in terms of not capping it, because again, because we have a hybrid system, you have to earn that experience once. Using the skill is really just what you're doing to apply the skill. So we try to make sure that is, we aren't too tight with that, because it's experience you already earned. It's not like Ultima Online or another use-based system where it's just, you can stand in front of a training dummy and get to max level or something. So, you guys got one?
I got one from Bridge Troll. Is there a commitment to make a craftable version of items in the Coda store? I think it means basically many items. So basically everything on the store has a craftable version. I would say there's never going to be a 100% matchup on that, but we will continually try to add store items, crafted items, and then sometimes there will be a version of one in both categories.
For those who are new on the stream, for every level of Hype Train we complete, we do an extra round of prize drawings at the end. Just so you know, it looks like they just completed level 1, so we'll be doing 3 at the end instead of 2 now. And I don't think we're committed to doing 100% of the items that are in the store. There's some things that'll just be in the store. We do add quite a bit of things as craftable. There's a lot of stuff in the world. I mean, some of the most desirable items and deco items are things that you can't buy in the store. They're just things you can get from the world. Whether through quest or finding the pieces, some of the stuff that you just added last release, or maybe a release before that. Let's see, and I see Spinock the Great. I think you already answered this, but since you upgrade the artifact system, may the 5 or 10 new arts this release. It's been a long time since you introduced new arts. Atos can make them in 2 hours. I don't have 2 hours free to do that stuff, and also when I do them in 2 hours. That's part of why that guy has to come in occasionally and do some cleanup and some balancing on some stuff, and some things go in that are a little questionable. Just to
point out something about how careful we're being about this, guys. Before I even dove in, just like with food, I think I spent with food and on this about a week just doing research and building spreadsheets so I can properly compare things. And then I even crafted essentially every single gear item to get a true feel for its base stats. And I've got a spreadsheet with screenshots of the base item and stuff like that. So I can just switch between tabs and really help myself compare as I'm working. And that'll help me in the future as I continue to add things and stuff.
Ooh, looks like they completed level 2 on the hype train, and I'll be thanking everybody at the end of the hype train. And I see Azazel Reborn, I don't think you answered this one, but will you add new enchantments in Masterworks? We will be adding new enchantments at Masterworks at some point in the not too distant future, but we've got enough stuff going in right now. You know, I think there's enough changes going in for a release to keep things crazy and keep us all on our toes for a while. As you heard, Elgarion, like the change he has, that one change he has is, what'd you say, 4,700 files? So
yeah, and I held back some of them. I held back about 1,000 of them. That's going to. I thought it was ending up to be wasted effort, and then realized I'm going to need that exact work for the components anyway. So it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, and I'll be applying that work to next month's work for artifacts. And to speak on that too, Azazel Reborn, Alexander asked right below about the taming enchants. So just keep in mind, they won't necessarily be new enchants in Masterworks, but they're going to be the new, as you salvage your gems for the components, you'll have new socketable buffs, new buff types to add rather than just the attunement gems. So yeah, that'll kind of address the taming enchants. It won't be a taming enchant, it'll be a taming socketed buff that you can socket something with if you'd like, that kind of thing. But it'd be a crafted gear, not an artifact.
Bridge Troll asked an important one here. Do wardings work in PvE? As of today, no, they do not work. As of the QA build this weekend, they should be working. That was one of those things I discovered like a week into last release and made the change, the actual fix for it, but didn't put it in a patch just because I knew it was going to break a lot of stuff. So that will be going in. I'll make sure and have that in for the weekend. But yeah, that will help. They were ignoring a lot of resistance and a lot of attunements, and they weren't using their own attunements, which is, I think I discovered that while looking into pets and why some pets, when you level up some pets, they did not increase the damage on their attacks. So I'll make sure that gets in so we can get some testing on that over the next week before we go live. But yes, it should matter going forward. It should, firebolts from skeleton mages or liches or whatever should do less damage if you have wardings. Travis, you got any yet?
Questions? I didn't see there were any pointed towards world building or my wheelhouse. I can show you a puppy who's very sleepy.
Let me get another round of questions in there. I think these are all new ones. There you go. I think there's maybe new ones. Let's see.
I see. I do see one. I'll go after you.
Okay. I was just going to say sometime pretty soon here. It's already 4:51 somehow. Poof! An hour's gone. But I need to start pulling some prizes, so make sure you have done your prizing statement in-game, and we'll pull some prizes here. And also thank all these people who are contributing to getting you guys more prizes. So just remember, when you're helping out, when you're giving to the stream there, you help everybody on the stream. So you too can be a stream hero. I think last week, I'm trying to remember who the stream heroes were last week. Shaner Niner was a big stream hero last week, but you guys are always great on that stuff. Necronet says for List, how are you? That is all.
Doing good. It rained, so no oak allergies. I got a new Chihuahua puppy. She just got spayed, so she's all drugged up and sleepy, but otherwise doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. I saw. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I saw will there come more different armor looks for all armor types? Absolutely. We will keep adding that forever. And then the other one was, let's see, the green room, the purple dragon room in Despair. It's the green room, but used to be good for farming heads, and now it sucks. Please bring back the 5 dragon spawn. I guess the question is, can we do that? We have plans for testing different stuff in Despair. We kind of tested some stuff, and we'll go back and revisit it and make new boss fights and new fights. It might not be purple dragons, it might be something else, but I know Keith did a lot of work on like the gates that you can't open until you kill something else, so something will happen within there for sure. I don't know if it'll be a repeat of the same farming purple dragons. It might not be.
I've got one here based on something I mentioned earlier. Bane Rampage Goods, are those people who were banned perma or limited time? Can we get a page in the forum with a list of those names banned? We will not do a list of the people who were banned. I know I've seen some talk that some people have identified them just because they were in the same guild with them. But are they permanent or limited time? It depends. Most of them, if it looks like kind of casual, super not serious, I've been starting off with a week ban with the warning that you don't get a second warning ban. There was a set this week that I actually did a permaban right off the bat with, that it was very clear it was someone who was running 5 accounts at a time, all of them botting. It was bad enough that I went in person. It was one of those where I went in person to verify what they were doing. And then just from looking at their history, looking at what they were doing and what they'd done with stuff that they got there in the past, when I started going back and seeing that they'd done this before, it was very clear they were just sitting there with like a farm group of stall of characters in a place and doing it all for RMT, which is the exact reason, RMT is fine, but if you're going to upset the game balance and upset the game economy to do your RMT, that is not fine. If you want to earn it normal in RMT, we stay out of that type stuff. But when you start botting for RMT, there's not going to be a warning for you. You're done. So there was a group. So there's at least 6 players who have got permabans on the first time. Most of the others were 1 week, and they can come back. So let's see. Eastreach Gap control point seems to now have a double spawn, making it undoable for a normal 8-man group. Is this intentional? Wow, there's a control point that you guys can't do? I had not heard that, actually. I can look into that. Someone says, what is RMT? Real money transactions. People who are not actually playing the game to play the game. They're playing the game because they can make money by playing the game in some exploitive or damaging way to everybody else, and then they go and they exploit it again by trying to sell the stuff for real money on websites outside the game. We ban that in-game, in our forums, that is. We do not support it. If you buy anything RMT, then you're on your own. It's your own risk. We do not go and deal with it if you get ripped off by someone doing RMT. We basically just stay completely out of it. But for people who are botting to RMT, you're gone. We don't want you in the game. So just so you know. Let's see. See some more comments on the Obsidian Trials. Yeah, that's. I do expect Obsidian Trials to be an ongoing and expanded thing. I think the one that's there right now is a good example, and it sets some of the tech that can be used for other things. Again, I don't think there's been a huge push to do more Obsidian Trials right now because we wanted to make sure PvP was fun anywhere first, and then we can go back. Then it's worth doing more Obsidian Trials. And I think it can attract. And I'm aware that there's a smallish PvP audience out there compared to what some people would like. But that's, are they going to be in doing PvP if PvP is not balanced? I don't think so. Will they come if we actually balance PvP, improve the game in a lot of different ways? That's the hope. PvP is something we plan on supporting and improving. So hopefully we'll get it to a point where lots more people PvP. Although in the last release, we turned off ransom, and there's been some 200 plus PvP kill days over the past few weeks, and a lot more action going on. So I did not say RMT was fine. I said RMT is something we do not support, but we stay out of, because it is nearly impossible to police what goes on someone else's website and player-to-player transactions in game. We can do player-to-player transactions. We can see that, but how do we know? We have no way of identifying it. So, and we don't support it. If you get ripped off, you get ripped off. And if you are botting to do it, then again, that's when you don't get a warning. All right, you guys got some more stuff there. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling some winners from the prizes, or for the prizes.
Yeah, let me go back to the first set of questions. Maybe I missed one. Here's one from Treasure Pile. Can we get adventure and crafting trainer NPCs for POTs? I don't know, maybe one day, but I think there's some folks that are pretty feel strongly about living in NPC towns. That's one of the few things that's their thing. Player-run towns and NPC story towns, of course, have where the trainers are at. POTs already get quite a bit of love in other regards. One thing I am hoping to do is to free up some of the NPC vendors that are given to POT governors to place in their town, to allow people to place those also in their lots at some point as well. So you can have like a crafting merchant in your basement next to your crafting table, so you can just buy your goods like right away.
And speaking of NPC towns, I forget if maybe it went live last release. I changed it so players can have any number of own any number of lots in a NPC town. So in case you're somebody who was blocked by that, I knew it was one of those things where it's kind of frustrating. I think it's one of those decisions we made early on with some good intentions but bad design, because guess what? I will go and create an alt who will go and claim the lot for me, is all that ends up happening when we do that. So when we're forcing those type of silly decisions, it's probably a good sign that it was a bad design or bad idea. And I was just going to go down and mention, while I wait for the prizing to happen here, going to go down and mention some of the stuff that is going in for this release. Based on feedback, you will now be able to assign when you're in combat mode, your toolbar, your potion bar, your non-combat bar, or whatever, you can assign keys for those. You can assign alternate keys for those now. If you don't assign anything to them, they will stay as they are. So like if you're in combat, like Shift 1 will do the first toolbar one, but that's one of the things that's been requested a lot, and I think some of it has to do with people, they don't care about, that Shift 1 is that horrible a spot for it. It is not great. I think a lot of these people are who have like, I think Necronut was saying he's got like some 32 button mouse, and he probably wants to assign like potion to button number 23 or whatever. And you couldn't do that with the old systems. Now you'll be able to do that. You can assign a button. So that's one that many players had requested. Let's see, some small stuff like guild message of the day, and pop message of the day. Those things will last for a full year. They were timing out after a week, I think.
I see one. I see. What is the status of making the starter area content more new player friendly? They've had some friends try it and they get lost a little bit. We've been playing weekly a lot, especially Sanio, and he's identified a lot of places we get stuck, and so we've been improving that every release. Basically, we haven't forgotten about that. I got a task to path people through Soul Town easier, so they don't get lost in some of the guys' cool places to shop and houses and stuff, but get them to where they need to go. Yeah, that's ongoing. Just easier indicators. People working on the quest journal. There's a lot of people working on the new user experience and doing stuff like that.
Let's see. Some more hotkey hookup stuff. You can pull up your deco palette. You can assign a hotkey to that if you're someone who's in the pot and you pull it up frequently. That can now have a hotkey. I know that's one a lot of like crafters and other people want. Let's see. Public vendors is one of those things for players who don't have a vendor to put stuff out there. It still gets quite a bit of use. Those will now take up to 50 items per person, rather than the 10 they had before. These are all, again, player feedback, things players had suggested. Let's see. You'll be able to pull up the available lots in a pot from anywhere in the pot. This is one of those things that, again, it was reality modeling, as you could pull it up by talking to the town crier, which makes sense and is realistic. But there was already the way around that if you talk to the town crier when you get there and you just leave the window up. But then we had this thing, if you accidentally close that, now you're screwed and you have to go back to the town crier again before you can open the window again. So if you could already keep it open wherever you went, it just made sense that, okay, we should just be able to open this anywhere. So you'll be able to open it anywhere in a town, because I think you guys know how you work. If you see there's 5 open lots and I want to go claim one, well, you want to run to one and check it out, and you want to run to the next one, check it out, and run to the next one, check it out. You don't want to have to run to the town crier in between each and every one. So let's see.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's some new performance work coming in that is for interior culling on stuff, that you'll be able to adjust that now. Also, there were some houses that were culling that shouldn't have been culling, that were like glass front houses that would cull up closer than they should have. So we've got water harvesting has changed now. That should be on there. There'll also be a key so you can pull up and see what things need to be watered. So those 2 things alone should make agriculture much less frustrating.
Devil Cult added that the sales receipts no longer have yellow text on them, so they'll be more legible. That'll be nice.
But anyways, there's more stuff going in. That was just the stuff I've done in the last 2 weeks. So I think everybody's got a ton of things that are going to be going in. And let me see. I think I need to pull a few more prizes. How many do we have up there? 2? We got 2 right now. We need to do 4. I guess I can thank some people for stream stuff here. Get ahead of that. Thanks to the Maynard, to Puddlefoot, ×5, Pipester, Big Tex Games, the Maynard again, Red Hammer, Tomcat, DE, Leon. Man, the Maynard's all over the place there. And Big Tex Games. Erraticus, 2K, Gravity, thank you very much. Suzor, Skeggy Media as always, buddy. Versago 2099, thanks for the 5 gifted community subs. Treasure Pile, Hollyhock, thank you for the 300 bits. Radicus again. Submarine Mike for 5 gifted subs. Irish Eyes, thank you. New WF Guy, thank you for the follow. Serpentwine for the Prime subscription. Z of Silverdale for the sub. Coswald Dirthmeyer in the top 5 for dying, by the way. Now his new claim to fame, number 4 on the list. Let's see, who else do we have here? Leon Chanda for the follow, but I think that is about it for the stream. There's a lot of people in there who gave multiple times today, so thank those guys for 2 extra rounds of prizes. Let me see how we're doing here. Did we get a 3rd round yet? Not quite. Not quite out there. And I see Bridge Troll saying you guys really are pushing a lot of changes. We are trying. For those who don't know, we're trying to move to kind of a TikTok. I think we're a little rough on this. We've been in the same groove for 3 years or more, 4 years. Oh no, it's release 90. Too many years. A lot of years. But yeah, we're trying to get out of that groove and get more into a TikTok where we get used to pushing big features one release and small features and patches the next release. But this release, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if it really qualifies as a talk, but there really is a lot of big improvements coming. So glad you guys are noticing. Let me get a couple more prizes going. There's one.
Yeah. Alphane, if you're still listening, we noticed your question about your Chaos Medals, so we're posting that in our chat so other people see it. I'm not sure what the status is on it. Apologies.
I can tell you I talked to our shipper Felicia today, so hopefully it's going out today.
Oh, nice.
That is also, she was letting me know that she was doing some the shipping stuff, which is one that Ravelox is kept up with, but he'd asked me to nudge her. But she is actually shipping stuff right now, so if you're one of the handful of people who still hasn't got a box but has told us about it and you're on the list, that should also be going out soon as well. So hopefully all those things will be going out and she'll be getting all those things out to you guys. So let's see. Did it do the thing yet?
Got 2 of them showing, 2 prizes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the others. There's a bunch of stuff. Somebody checked in. Who's working? Why are you guys working?
I'll do a question
Okay.
from Hex. Answer, but just kind of status. Are there any updates on the higher tiered monthly pledge subscriptions? And we have a really good list of possibilities of things to add into those tiers and stuff. And we did a lot of brainstorming. I don't know, maybe close to a month ago. So just no ETA on that yet. But I don't know, Chris, you know if that's going to come soon or not.
Taz has said he has his part done, and we just need to finalize things. We do want to finalize things. Again, I haven't made it a big secret that I think for many years we had a little too much focus, in my opinion, on the finance side of things and generating revenue, which is super important, and we still need to do that. But lately we've been more focused on trying to improve the game. And so that type of stuff is kind of taking a back seat. We do need to get that going, though. I think that's obviously improving revenue is important for us, as we see with our, the revenue increase we've had, and we got guys like Devil Cult on board. Obviously, some more money would help. Getting a few more of those people. I don't think that there's hundreds of those. There's 100 Elgarions and Devil Cults out there, but I'm sure there's got to be a few more. So yes, we will get to those because we do like making money, but we have not made it our biggest priority. And I see a puppy dog there. Did you already introduce Puppy while I was not paying attention? You're muted. Mute.
Oh, this is Fiona. She got surgery. She just got spayed yesterday, so she's very groggy and did not like being left alone for the entire stream. So. She's a little whiny. She might recognize herself. She does watch TV and notices dogs. She's just sleepy.
Alright, let's see.
You want me to go through the community events? Or?
Yeah, do that. I'm trying to get the prizes done here.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a link to the events page that I'm actually kind of scanning through, guys. Lots of great events. Some of them have been listed for a while just to give you a chance to participate in. And don't forget the monthly screenshot contest and video contest. Not too many entries for this month yet, and you still have all the way up until Thursday of next week, release day, to get your videos and screenshots in. I'm going to change up and do some fancier stuff with screenshots and videos the following month, to start including aspects of people going out and trying to take screenshots for load scene stuff, and also target people in on doing videos for certain types of features we have in the game, like a video about music and a video about la-da-da, so we can use those videos to promote our special what makes this game great type features. And then, of course, give you guys great prizes for great videos. But on the events page, I posted already, no. Here we go. So, of course, we got the Catnip Games monthly fishing tourney. One more week to get involved with that before it cycles over to the new monthly contest. Then we got the Catnip Games screenshot video contest I just mentioned, and the monthly treasure hunting contest, where you get to look for certain items that drop within a PvE and a PvP zone and get unique trophies. We also, if you want to bid farewell to a fallen community member, please pay your respects. Boris Mondragon, of course, so we're leaving that up there on the events page for just a little bit longer. very beloved community member. And then don't forget also contact the Ravelox if there's somebody in the community that has been special to you that's, Pat, he's doing wonderful work in Brittany Graveyard, giving you a place to request a memorial be placed for your fallen friend. Then we've got the New Britannia Theater Troupe Needs You. That's right, Asclepius over there at the caverns.net and the New Britannia Theater Troupe. They do great jobs orating fan fiction and also doing writing screenplays and doing in-game plays and even clipping together like voice acting and stuff like that for the podcast version. It's fantastic fun. So please, if you're interested, be sure to contact them. Still got the Violet Ronzo's Bard versus Razorback Destroyer link there, but he's got quite a few more videos that he's done recently that I've been putting out on social media, so keep an eye out for those. And Torque also has been really active with videos lately. One-time events, we got the Omarian Crusade. It's a role-play event run by Thoric O'Mara with friends over at Iron Hall, so if you want to get involved, please let him know. The Mysteria Fishing Contest, Pax Lair Fishing Contest, running until the end of the month, because it's they're one of the featured POTs for this month's Catnip Games Fishing Contest, and they have extra prizes available. And then we still have the 2 latest Avatar Express spotlights for Iron Hall and Phoenix Haven up until their next spotlights. Recurring events, the Iron Hall Royal Races is a monthly event now, and so always keep tuned in for when the next event is. And the link's right there for you guys. The Baron Reach New Player Welcome event is still going on. 10K just for popping in and letting yourself be known in Baron's Reach. Every Sunday, Elen Dragonfire and her friends at Immortal City are doing a combat and crafting Sunday school, 7 to 9 p.m. Central. So if you're interested in learning about the game or maybe even contributing and helping with the training, let her know. 50 Crown Fishy Prize, this is a monthly recurring fishing contest, as well as the RHEC Traveling Pop-Up Fishing Contest. So lots of opportunities for prizes related to fishing. And of course now with all the fish meat being spread throughout so many different recipes with purposes, everyone's got to get out there and get fishing so you can get your adventure food, right? And then we got Lightbringer Isle Auction every Sunday, 2 p.m. Central. Don't miss out. And, for new fan fiction, we've got more short stories have been posted at thecaverns.net. Asclepius posted 4 new ones since our last mention last week. So we've got all the works are by Wambi or Fetid Sir Diddy, and they're titled Souvenir, Journey to Kingsport, Creepy Dolly, and Supper. And of course, when you submit your fan fiction to Asclepius, they will orate it and put in professional sounding music and stuff in the background. It's just really fantastic. And if you haven't had a chance yet, I'm leaving it up there for a while. Arachnophilia, real creepy, kind of awkward story about a human spider hybrid and how that came to be. But it's actually a really creepy story. Check that out. Dying for a Drink, also another Wambi story that's been added recently. And the Soda horror fiction, Home on Spectral Peaks by Fetid Sir Diddy, is continuing there on the forum. So pop in there once in a while to see any new sections being added to that story. New community resources, That Odd French Guy, aka Violet Ronzo, he posted a directory of his tutorial videos now. There's one centralized link for that. And of course, we still have the Dragon Slayer leaderboard recently added by Tirag, and sodaprices.com recently added by Sean.
And I was just reminded to wish all the British people happy St. George Day. There's an event in game today. I think Minerva ran an event with dragons and lots of other stuff. So I did not take part in that. She was hoping I would, but I didn't know way I could find time right now. So barely keeping my head on straight at the moment. So trying to cram in stuff in this last week. Today is officially we're not supposed to be cramming anything else in, but we'll probably cram in a few more things. But speaking of which, I think the QA build is ready to go. So let me get that going, and we can call off some names here shortly. Let's see. Publishing the QA build right now for those people who are interested in that type of stuff. I did see one more question on the water. It looked like it was asked after I mentioned the stuff before, so apparently I wasn't clear. The water changes that are in for this release coming up, going live next week, should be on QA right now. there's a couple things. One, you'll still be able to harvest water, but you'll still be able to buy water. But when you water things, it will only use 1/10 as much water. That is roughly every time you water something, it has a 1 in 10 chance of consuming the water. So, and that's just because we don't want to keep a history on it, but we didn't want to make you carry 10 times as many buckets and just make it so you get 10 buckets every time you get water out of a well. The other thing that is in there now, I think I mentioned earlier, is there's a key binding so you can have flower, whatever planted beds, show you which ones need to be watered. So watering should be much easier. Again, we pulled that tedious part off the front. There'll still be a little bit if you want to go harvest water. Hopefully you'll just go buy the buckets of water. But only need 1/10 as many, and you can tell which things actually need to be watered. So again, quality of life stuff for you all. Let's see. I think we're ready. We got all the prizes there. Are we ready to wrap things up? Well, sort of.
I think so.
All right, who wants to do prizes?
I can do is it
You want to?
3, unless Travis wants to. There's 4 of them. 4.
What do we do? You do the names and then the items?
Okay. Yeah,
All right,
you want to do
you
the
two
items
it.
and
I'll just
I'll
kick my feet
say
up.
the names.
Relax.
Okay, sure. Here at the end of the PrizeBot channel.
Yep.
There's a Bolton Maroon Leather Chesterfield sofa and chair.
That goes to Al Bundy, Gulmore, I missed the top one, Seth Ava, and Datarum Tarot. Congratulations.
Those are nice. There's a white Lepus mask.
That goes to Sage Rain, Pop Lancermane, Stymie Sage Fury, and Stinger.
Savage.
There's a flower crown. Those are nice.
It goes to Austin, Leon Ventura, Revenant, and Blaze Garsenk.
We got a thorn wand.
That goes to Ryan Mercury, Scarface, Treasure Pile, and Helenica Pamphilion.
Nice. And then the last one, we got a spring fountain with floating candles. Those are really nice.
Yeah, that goes to Bella Prime, Ukulele, Aristodemus, and Z. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Hey, we didn't have any dupes, did we?
Nope, no dupes that time.
Good job, PrizeBot. You did your job right for a change. I think that about wraps it up for the day. Did you guys see any last questions you felt like you really needed to answer?
Not any
Anybody?
I had the answer for, but there's some good ones we can get next time.
I see Necronut says 12 more hotkeys for decks. That's one I can do. Make it so you can assign hotkeys to swap for which decks to pull out.
Oh yeah, is that limited to a number? Yeah.
Let's see. Aaron Pope, can you look into allowing players to create dungeons for others? Oh yeah, it's been on the to-do list for a while. I don't know. That's a system that I have not touched a ton. I fixed a few bugs in it, and I've added a lot of content to it. But I will need to look into why you guys can. It seems like you should be able to do that. So, yeah, that's a good one. Because, yeah, I know players would be fun to be able to create as a group. And right now you can't really do that. Tina O'Neill, can we set the duration for Guild Message of the Day? Currently, you can't set the duration. I just set it as a year flat. There's... I think I know a way I can sneak in a way that you could set the duration for it, but you would only have one message. There's only going to be one message of the day. You can't, set like 5 or something like that and set times for them. I know that'd be really convenient, but right now it is a single message of the day. But I think I can probably sneak in a way that you can set the guild message of the day just by setting a number of days for it. So I will look into that improvement as well now that I know how that works. Let's see. I think that's probably. See anything else?
I didn't spot any.
Irish Eyes asks, are town prices for town upgrades going down? We have not made any town upgrade price announcements. We actually looked into doing a 420 pot upgrade sale, and then at the last minute just decided we didn't have enough time to prep for it. That was a player suggestion, a great player suggestion from last time. But we did not get that done. But town or housing prices will be changing some going forward. Another thing is Elgarion goes and does his magic of basically looking at all the mistakes we've made. To summarize, looking at all the mistakes we've made over the past 5 years of iteratively doing things, going back and taking a whole picture now that we have it all done and looking at things and going and balancing stuff. He's doing the same price with some deed prices, so you'll see those change over the next months. But I think some of that may go live this next time around. Some of them, I don't know that any of them went up. I think some of them went down, so I think most of them went down, but a lot of it's really just kind of evening things out. There's some of these weird price gaps that were just silly.
Yeah, none of them will raise in price.
So those will go down a little bit next Thursday if you're looking at upgrading. But feel free to upgrade now. It's not going to change that much, I don't think so, on this release. Let's see. Someone asked, any news on the new tree? I'd hoped on getting some work done on it this release. I did not get that much work done. We kind of have the skills laid out for it. There's still some things as I laid out the boilerplate layout for it. There's still some questions to be answered, and it's also one that it's hard to do a skill tree without doing a lot of VFX, and right now Damon and Travis are the two people who are best VFX guys out there, and they did not have any bandwidth, so soon, but not quite yet. We do have a plan, and I think we're all getting a little excited about it. But I think that's probably it. Let's wrap it up. You will not hear me sing a song. I did not see John Marcus apparently could not make the stream today, or did not want to torture you, one or the other, so you will not hear a song today. But we do need to pick who we're going to raid. Who's it going to be?
Well, we've got 4 to pick from. We've got Revenant 84,
Always
Silver
good.
Tree Consortium,
Always good as well.
Alphane, and Serpent Wine.
Let's see. Do we want to just roll for it? I'm glad to... Oh, that's... Of course, I gave him a great background the whole time. The most boring scene in the game with me sitting AFK in there. That was actually... I've been trying to reproduce the AFK stuff again. I've got some more... Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying Serpent Wine said, don't pick me.
All right. Necro says roll 1 to 100 with every number being Revenant. We'll do a roll 3. Let's see. Who is number 3? 3 is the number today.
That is Alphane.
Alphane, that's who I was about to pick anyways, so. We owe him some raids, and he still has not got his prize and his award, so we'll make it up to him. Let me see, and it's just Alphane, right? I'll go look and copy-paste. That's the only way I seem to get it right anyways. Alphane. Here we go. All right, we're loading up, Alphane. I hope you're here to do some streaming. Normally I get on there and say, you know, I'm rating this person, but this person's great, that person's great, all these people are great, everybody out there is great right now. Alphane will show you how to... I'm not sure if he's going to do it today, but he'll either show you how to play the game right with combat stuff, or he'll show you how to decorate wrong, possibly, or maybe it's right. It's however it is, it's entertaining, and it's stuff that's fun for you guys to do that we're, as long as it doesn't get too crazy and exploitive, we don't plan on fixing it or making them change stuff. So again, enjoy. That's why we're here, is try to make sure the game is fun and that you guys are enjoying things. So, oh, you guys have any last minute? You got about 15 seconds before we go raid.
Hope y'all have a good night. Enjoy your weekend.
Okay.
All right, puppy looks cute. Put that puppy back in bed. Guys, again, thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Hope everybody's signing up to get vaccinated. I think everybody on the team almost has been vaccinated. Almost everybody. Most everybody. Anyways,
Me too.
be safe out there, and we will see you next Friday. We've got the release next Thursday, so get ready for that. Hopefully it's going to go smooth. It's going to be a lot of big changes going in, so feel free to get on QA. I just published a new one. Guys, see you next week. Let's go raid Alphane. And we have raided, but I have not ended the stream. And now I am ending the stream.